ClearTouch has been priceless for us. Our teachers love their boards. The improvements that we have seen in classroom involvement and student involvement in the classroom and just being able to keep their attention has been a huge success with ClearTouch. The kids are excited to use the board and they are active in their learning.
So I think if you walk our halls, you'll see in every single classroom, the teachers are actively using the ClearTouch panels. Students engage with them on a daily basis, and the lessons are much more exciting and relevant for our students.
I was one of the first ones to have a ClearTouch board in my school. Everyone else was very envious. The teachers love that they have that kind of technology, the ClearTouch boards in their classroom. I think one of the things that really helped us when we incorporated ClearTouch boards into our classrooms was the fact that it had the Android operating system inside the board, because that gives us more access in the classrooms.
With the smart boards, you had to be at the board really to click, or your computer had to be hooked up and you had to get to it that way. With the ClearTouch, everything is on the panel itself, all the different programs and things like that. So one thing that's really nice is I'm able to plug in a wireless mouse to the board, so then I can still click through but monitor the room and move around and not have to stand just at the front of the room.
My favorite feature of the ClearTouch panel was hard to choose for me. I would say that compared to the past technology, my favorite part is that it is a standalone computer. That I don't need to have a separate computer hooked up to show my lesson material. I use ClearTouch panel every single day in my classroom. Everything from presenting up directions for warm-up activities to presenting slideshows, videos. I also use it with my document camera to display when I'm using small tools. I teach a Go Tech lab with lots of technology and tools, equipment, machines, and so I'm displaying software and showing the tools in the big screen all the time.
The old systems that we had, required a computer to be connected to them, which meant that you had to have an HDMI cable for the signal, and then you had to have a USB cable for the touch. Now, the teachers just turn it on and start working. For some teachers, it's not a big issue. Connecting those cords, but for some it really is. So I think it just really simplifies things for us.
One of the things I really love about the panel is that it's very intuitive. So if you're familiar with a smartphone or a tablet, you can just roll with that board. It's not intimidating, it's not difficult to learn how to use. Everybody from little bitty kids on up to older retirees, they can access this and they can use it and be effective with it.
With any new technology, I think there is going to be hesitation for your teachers and your staff and students. But our teachers were able to just see the value in it and how it was going to increase their efficiency in the classroom, which I think is a big part of a sell on anything.
I'm one of the old school teachers, that never had any of these devices. But so I always like to see, I think it's a challenge to see this new systems that come up, and in this case it's very easy to navigate. I think the district was very smart in buying ClearTouch. The investment was important because once again, if teachers are happy with what we're doing, the stresses of lesson plans and all these other things that come in, they're going to be there all the time. But if technology can support and there's an easy transition into getting stuff done, I think that's why the investment's sound.
ClearTouch has been a wonderful investment for our district because teachers have the flexibility to move the board around the room, and it creates a more engaging environment for our students. They are participating more, they are interacting more, and they're loving that hands-on approach that ClearTouch offers.
I had a student who was legally blind. She could see directly in front of her, but she couldn't see more than like 4 feet in front of her. So even having her at the front of the board, front of the classroom, she still couldn't see everything on the board. We had the iPads, we were able to use the Collage app, and she could have the iPad directly in front of her. So that was awesome, that it was a benefit for students with disabilities and things like that as well, to help them be a part of the lesson just like everybody else.
I feel like the accessibility of our students to be able to use clear touch boards for assistive technology, that helps to meet the needs of students who have disabilities. We have students who they're not able to read the lessons that we have, so different applications or different programs that we can run on a clear touch board can have those things read to them, and I feel like that's beneficial for our students because it makes them more successful.
It really has been a lifeline when it comes to teaching in the classroom now, and I don't know how we would go back if we ever didn't have it, so I'm just very thankful that we have the clear touch boards.
We've noticed measurable benefits when we review lesson plans. We notice use of the clear touch panels and other instructional technology documented in the plans. And then when we do our observations, just the percentage and rate of student engagement has increased, and I think that's largely attributed to that technology.
ClearTouch has really been a lifesaver for us. I am so glad that we were introduced to it all those years ago now, because I really feel like at the beginning of a school year it's very helpful to us. I'm excited that ClearTouch is a part of our next big thing, because the boards and the panels are able to get us to where we need to be, making sure that our students have everything they need to be successful. And ClearTouch helps us with that.